The Maverick Formula. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast of The Ordinary Maverick. This is Ajay, your host, an ordinary maverick sharing real life thoughts and experiences and maverick tips. Today's podcast centers around the Maverick Formula, its elements, and more importantly, its application in life. So, how did this Maverick Formula come about? I'm often asked this question: how did you do it? How do you all as a family do it? And basically, a lot of curiosity on how we have lived our life, the varied experiences that we have, and the strong bond that we demonstrate, and the not so conventional journey we are on. And essentially, what happens is when you're asked something very often, well, one starts thinking and reflecting, and that's exactly what I did. We all start off in life wanting simple things: a family, job, house, good health, friends, am I right? Well, I was no different, and I believe that I went ahead and did just that. Today, I'm grateful and humbled by all the support and opportunities that came my way in this journey called life. So, when the question comes on how did I do it, I wonder firstly why I am being asked this question, and two, how did I do it? Well, on the first one, I think it's that enigmatic, multi-dimensional word happiness that comes to mind. We do come across as a happy family, I come across as happy, and this is coupled with a sense of satisfaction. And two, how did I do it? Well, that's where the Maverick Formula comes in. I've had my set of challenges which life continues to throw at me even today. Thus, in many ways, I'm no different. Many times I've had to start from scratch, and I do mean it literally, picking up and bouncing back again. Life has its strange ways, and often when one is going through a crisis or a life-changing event, good or bad, really it doesn't matter. One doesn't quite think and analyze. You just kind of, do it, do what's required. But when you think back and look back, a pattern emerges. This pattern, you will agree with me, is a tapestry of life stitched together with moments. And it's the moment that counts. Well, I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's often that moment, the decision-making point, the point that changes your life course. Think about it, pause for a moment, and reflect on a time when you've had to take a decision. I mean, a key one, possibly a choice of a career, a life partner, the major turning point in one's life, and how that decision that you took at that point in time indeed changed your life. That choice affects our well-being, contributes to our happiness, joy or sorrow, regret, whatever the case might be. And it is here where the Maverick Formula comes in. It has three core elements. 1, go with your gut. 2, be true. And 3, fall forward. Now let's try and understand these elements. What goes with your gut essentially means. Let's pause for a moment and reflect when, essentially one has to take a decision, or when there are choices in front of you and you essentially need to decide. Let's start with something very simple. Imagine you're hungry and you pause and think, what should I eat? For sure, an image pops in your mind, and that could be something that you're craving for. And if you think about it, it's generally something that your body is telling you that it requires and it needs. For example, a cool drink, a fruit, or some protein. But you know what? This is simple stuff. Let's look at a time when you were faced with a major decision. For example, like a career move, choosing a life partner. Now remember your gut feeling at that point in time? The immediate thought that came to your mind, the yes and the no. And think whether you went with your gut feeling and essentially how it turned out. Give it a thought and you'll notice that the decisions that you took as per your gut feeling always do turn out to be right. So yes, going with your gut is critical. And then comes the second element, be true. Now this one is an important one here, because here comes the mindfulness, the inner listening. And once you have identified your gut feeling, being true and following through. Not giving up, not getting influenced by external factors, but being true to your gut feeling, your instinct. Being true to your decision and your chosen path. And then the third and final element, fall forward. Now what does that mean? It means always, and I mean always, moving forward. Moving, that's it, period. Yes, one can be flexible. Yes, one can make changes, but always go forward, fall forward. Never look back. It's something that I have lived by in my life. Now let's share some tips on how one applies the Maverick Formula. Here's one that works for me and as for us as a family. Visualization. Picturing yourself, your family, and walking yourself visually through the consequences of any decision you're faced with. Let me give you an example. We have moved home 19 times in the last 25 years of my marriage. Yes, you heard it right, 19 times. And it's been between continents, cities, different parts of the world. And believe me, when an opportunity comes up for a potential move, one of the first things that we do is sit down and visualize. Can we see ourselves living in that country, that city, and a potential house? And in that visualization, are we happy? The answer comes naturally, and it's easy to take a decision thereafter. Now, let's see, we are in a difficult situation in lockdowns, quarantines, facing something that's all new, unknown, uncertain. Well, it gives us time to reflect, time to do things that we didn't have time for earlier. This is the perfect time to think back and see how you could relate to the Maverick Formula. Remember, go with your gut, be true, and fall forward. Write in your comments, share your feedback. I would love to hear from you. And for some more Maverick tips, do subscribe to the Ordinary Maverick podcast. This is Ajay signing off. Here's wishing you all the very best. Keep safe, keep well.